Hello and welcome back to Screamers. I'm Jessie, joined virtually by Maya and Honor because illness has hit Screamers this week and it's hit us hard. But today we're going to be chatting through the Champions League, the League Cup and the latest Lionesses squad. Shall we get into it?
Let's go.
So WSL is on international break, which we'll get into a little bit later, but there's still been lots of football to catch up on. I guess first off, last night, NWSL Championship Final. Did anyone stay up to watch it? Because I did not.
I also did not.
You definitely get a pass, Honor.
I didn't, but I did get up. I woke up at 6:20 this morning, so I have watched all the highlights on social media. Not on purpose. I can see your look of horror. I did not wake up at 6:20 on purpose. But I have been watching the absolute reams of content the NWSL has been pumping out on their socials ever since Gotham secured the bag.
I had the best of intentions of staying up to watch it, and then it was getting close to 1 o'clock, and I'm like, I'm quite sleepy. I might only make the first half. And then they just inexplicably pushed kickoff back 15 minutes. And it's like, it's the final, guys. I understand that sometimes you have to move kickoff times because of like weather and stuff, but why can you not get the kickoff time for the final right?
Why did they say they had done that?
They didn't. I just like the stream just didn't start. And then I turned on it, then the time it said it was going to start, and there was just a marching band playing.
It's the US. Marching band takes priority above everything.
Yes, women's football, marching band. That's the stakes.
A Rose Lavelle, it was a good goal.
It was a good goal.
To seal the win.
Yeah, it was I'm a little bit, from the outside perspective, worried for Gotham of what they do when Rose Lavelle and Emily Sonnet leave, because it does seem like a lot of that team is driven by them. And Katrin Berger's distribution seems to have, not that it was, I would say, the strongest part of her game when she was at Chelsea, but it really seems to have dropped off a cliff since she's gone to Gotham. Lots of balls shanked straight into out of touch. But yeah, congrats Gotham. Should we talk about the games we have watched a bit more in detail?
Let's do it.
So it was the Champions League this week, the latest league stage matchups. Which game do you want to start with? Do you want to start with Arsenal, Maya?
Why not? I mean, finally a win, so that was nice. I have to say I didn't think it was going to be a win from watching the first half.
I also did not think it was going to be a win.
Still finished the game. Kind of surprised it was a win, to be honest.
That's the energy you want, isn't it, for your football team? Shocked that you've done well.
I do think it's like really disappointing how unstable the team looks without Kim Little. I think it's amazing that we are relying on her quite so much. And she is very near she's in the twilight years of her career, but she's still this absolute linchpin to such an extent that, half the team looks lost when she's not on the pitch.
I don't think anyone's told her she's in the twilight years of her career.
No, and to be honest, she does look amazing, but obviously she's been completely overplayed and now has an injury. We've talked a lot about how I feel that Arsenal should be rotating a lot more than they are. What's now happening is that the players like Kim, who we've been over-relying on, are obviously now injured. But anyway, it was a win, so we'll take that. That's all we can do. I mean, Alessia Russo, such a hard worker. I'm really happy for her that she got those 2 goals.
My favourite thing for Alessia was that she was working really hard on the pitch, and then fighting for her life when she got off the pitch, when she was asked in the post-match interview, do you like playing as the 10? I know the 9 better. I'll do what the manager wants me to do. It's like, oh, babe, you just don't want to play there.
Well, she is so much better in the 9. I think it is a much more natural position for her. She obviously does a lot of work defensively, and that is great. But I do think she's better suited for us in the 9. I really wish Olivia Smith had the full 90, and maybe there's a reason that I don't know about that she had to come off, but it just seemed like it was really coming for her. She was getting into really good spaces, she was taking really good chances, and I just really felt it was going to come off. So I was upset that well, not upset, that's a bit overstating it, but I was surprised
crying in the living room.
I was surprised that she got subbed off when she did, and I really think we should be leaning on her more, because she is one of those like super talented young players that we should be building Arsenal around now. But we're still building it around the Caitlin Fords, the Katie McCabe's, the Kim Littles, and I think we need to start like really spotlighting our young players so that we can have this new era which we need.
I was really surprised by that substitution because it felt like all of the action outside of Alessia Russo's really hard work was coming from Olivia Smith.
Yeah.
And it didn't need, I think, the substitution, like, because it was a double sub, wasn't it? Olivia Smith came off and
Beth Mead came on.
And it was Kelly off as well for forward. So it was the two wingers at the same time.
And I think I could understand. I don't think Chloe Kelly was having quite as much of an impact on that game. I could understand bringing her off. But I don't think taking Olivia Smith off was a good idea. There must be a managing minutes thing going on with Olivia Smith because it doesn't seem like her form marries up with like the amount of minutes she's getting. Like the way she's playing.
It's tricky though, because I mean you have Mead coming on and then she obviously gets the assist for that second goal pretty much immediately. And Livy Smith, I completely agree with you, Maya. It felt like something was coming for her. But at the same time, I wonder if she still needs a bit more time to adjust to playing in that team, like compared to playing at Liverpool and in Portugal, like her kind of being the outlet, versus being part of a more of a broader attacking group. So it's interesting. I don't know if I would prefer to see her come on and try and make an impact, like the other way around. I know everyone's been wanting to see her start, but I think that could be a good role for her with the energy and the pace and just the determination that she has.
They were doing that a bit, weren't they? But then she was getting like 20 minutes every few weeks. And that then just doesn't feel like enough.
Also, it feels like the next stage of her development, what's needed is like, obviously she was playing sort of full 90s for Liverpool when she didn't, get kicked to pieces enough to come off. But it feels like the next stage of her development is not just being that dangerous player. It is knowing how and when to pull that trigger. Because I think the one thing I would say as a drawback to Livy Smith is like she's always go, go, go. And there's never any of that like game management, I think, is what she needs to learn. I think she'll only learn that by playing full 90s in like the sort of the level that Arsenal's at. But it was a good resolute performance. And then the other English results in the Champions League this round, Man United had a very chastening trip to Germany.
Guys, defending is dead.
I did not expect this result.
No, me neither. It was awful.
It was awful. I mean, do you think, because Man United, this year's team, haven't really lost until the Manchester derby last week. It feels like that's just been like a huge knock to their confidence because it was, what was it, 3-0?
Yeah.
Which is quite devastating scoreline.
My conspiracy theory is that they were doing very well just with their perfect defence until people started pointing it out. And then they're like, fuck.
It fell apart.
Yeah.
I mean, all of those goals that Wolfsburg scored, that it's not like they were capitalising on set pieces or anything. They're pretty much just every time there was a mistake at the back of Manchester United, they capitalised on it and scored.
Yeah. Lots of bangers.
Yeah.
Lots of bangers, lots of errors. Lots of errors.
Yeah, you have to obviously think as well about the goalkeeper change. It's a tough position for Saf Middleton Patel to be dropped in. Again, third start in a row in 3 massive games. Champions League against PSG, Manchester's derby, and then Wolfsburg. You kind of have to wonder whether it's the right choice for Skinner to be playing her.
Over Rendell,
yeah.
Of the 3 big games I would have given, knowing that Wolfsburg were coming up, it's difficult, isn't it? Because it's not just that they're big games in terms of how the season goes for United. They're also big, like, high profile games. And Rendell, again, is not someone who's in that role a lot for United. So do you drop her into the Manchester derby?
Exactly. I think you can see the logic in feeling like Saf Middleton Patel has come off some pretty high profile games with Wales as well. And then he's obviously trying to create these relationships by putting her in for a sort of run of games. But then obviously it hasn't worked, but you can see why he did it.
Yeah. I think we're just really starting to see the what we've predicted basically the whole season coming for United, that they will play well, but they will just struggle with the squad depth and the amount of games.
Yeah.
And they just look, more than anything, I think the mistakes come from, they just look tired.
Yeah, they do.
They're making silly decisions because I think they're just they're just tired, and like some of those,
and just loose passes and careless decisions, and it's really cost them. They were really, really punished for it.
Janssen and Laetitia, I don't think I've ever seen them. Well, obviously they've had bad games before, and United have shipped a lot of goals before, but they just looked poor. And usually they're a very solid pairing.
Yeah,
you guys know how complimentary I am always of MLT.
Yeah,
but I was like, this girly, something's going on.
Yeah, it felt like, and if you lose,
You okay, girl?
you okay, hon? If you lose a game because you were just really outclassed, and this is not to say that Wolfsburg weren't good, because I think Wolfsburg
They were really
like
good,
clinical and devastating with their attack, but
yeah,
it wasn't helped by the fact that I think Wolfsburg had 12 players on that pitch, and the 12th man was Manchester United's poor decision making.
yeah.
Like it was
Wow, I love that phrase.
Did you just think of that?
That's a new one.
It just came to me on the spot. It was like every time I was just cringing, like, why have you played that pass? Why have you done that? Because Lynette Berenstein is not going to give you a second chance. And Pedamores is just going to hit it from fucking anywhere within the half.
That's it. It's like so many teams, to be fair, make lots of mistakes at the back. I mean, this is the highest level and you shouldn't be doing that. But not every team capitalises every time on those mistakes. And Wolfsburg should definitely be given their flowers for doing that, because like to get a scoreline of 5-2 out of that game, it's pretty impressive, and it's not the scoreline I thought it was going to be going into it.
No, and to be fair to United, I think their goals were both really well worked. The Frida Rolfo header was really well taken, and Mallard was just
such confidence.
Yeah.
I think the Mallard-Rolfo like connection feels like, it does feel like United are developing those like little pairing connections over the pitch. It's just whether they all like run out of steam before they can really carry them over the line.
Yeah, whether they already are.
Well, I thought they had a really, really aggressive press to begin the game, and I found that quite exciting. But it was just those, as we said, the weak spots in defence, and also Toon, I thought, was really poor.
And I think they were missing Jess Park.
Yeah.
But again, some players need to get rested. Like you said, they haven't got the squad depth. You can't play every single minute unless you're Laetitia.
Yeah, well, when Jess Park came on for Toon, she couldn't even really make an impact, because at this point,
the game's gone.
Yeah.
And then another game that completely changed at half time. Guys,
are we perhaps talking about Juventus's Arsenal impression?
Juventus Lyon.
Wow.
A
crazy game.
I'm not a Juventus fan, obviously, by any stretch. But
you are a Leah Volti fan.
Although she's injured again. It's just so disappointing. Like, honestly, to be a fly on the wall at either of those teams' halftime talks and then the full-time talk, I just think, fucking hell. That's what nightmares are made of.
To throw away, not just be like going 1-0 up at half time and thinking, okay, we've got to focus, we've got to be concentrated, this Lyon team can be devastating, but to throw away a 3-0 lead against Lyon.
No.
It's so frustrating.
Yeah.
Wow, yeah, both teams should be very disappointed with themselves.
Yeah.
Do you want to just line them all up, Anna? Just have them all in front of you and just go tell them all.
I think Wendy Renard's already done that for Lyon.
Yeah.
You've not just let me down, you've let Lyon down, you've let Honor down, you've let us all down.
The fans on Twitter were the Lyon fans were cracking me up, because they were like...
Yeah, that tweet, it was like, Renard, worst performance in a Lyon shirt. Brand, worst performance in the Lyon shirt. Endler, worst performance until next week.
Yeah, that was so mean.
Lindsay Heaps, as expected.
Yeah, that was it. Cracked me up.
And Barcelona, their draw against Chelsea, I think that was the game. That was a game of this round of fixtures I think everybody was looking forward to. And from a neutral's perspective, it did not disappoint.
It was really exciting.
What a game that was. Honestly, Chelsea in that first half.
Chelsea looked absolutely amazing. They looked an absolute cut above any other. An absolute cut above I've ever seen any other WSL team play.
Yeah, that felt like the best iteration of Chelsea playing Barcelona in that first half. It was like Sonia.
It looked terrifying. It looked like they were 100%. Being fast forwarded when they were playing.
When Hayes' Chelsea had got a result against Barcelona in the past, it has not been playing that way. it hasn't been. We haven't seen Chelsea play that way on the ball, like with the confidence and the skill and the quality that they had. Like the way they've managed to get a result before has been like
seizing some breaks.
And also kind of against the run of play. Like they looked on top in this game. When they beat Barcelona away in the Champions League 2 seasons ago, that goal was a really well-worked team goal and an amazing finish from Erin Cuthbert. But it was against the run of play. Chelsea weren't dominating the game in any shape or form, and they were quite lucky with a few other calls from the ref. But they just looked on top. They looked completely unstoppable.
They were doing to Barcelona what Barcelona usually do to other teams.
And I've never seen Barcelona roll over like that and look so underconfident and make mistakes. And they were losing possession left, right, and centre. Like it was kind of crazy.
That is like the blueprint for how you take a game to Barcelona. I think that other teams in the Champions League should be looking at.
Honestly, I think I speak for all Arsenal fans that I'm devastated that obviously they don't have any sort of mental block against playing Barcelona anymore, which was the one thing I could hold on to and all Arsenal fans could hold on to. But they didn't look very scared the other night.
I wonder if that's an element of like the recruitment. There's been like enough of those. You think Millie Brighton's Millie Brighton's start. Lucy Bronze and Ellie Carpenter have both played against Barcelona like so many times
for Barcelona.
For Barcelona in Lucy Bronze's case, but like for so many different teams as well. They don't have the Chelsea block.
Yeah,
but people like Kat Macario, Alyssa Thompson, like they don't have. I think that hangover is gone.
Yeah,
and like Erin Cuthbert's not one to let it linger. Like I thought Erin Cuthbert was absolutely magnificent in that game. Like that was. Lucy Bronze after was like, that effectively was like my captain, but like would run through brick walls for that team. But the way she was holding onto the ball, the way she was like winning 50-50s, I thought that Erin and Vika Captain, I mean, I'm obsessed with Vika Captain.
Oh yeah, she had a great game.
They just both incredible. Really stood out to me as always first to the ball, so switched on, energy, and like you said, Cuthbert, what a representative for Chelsea.
So guys, are you calling it now Chelsea win the Champions League?
No, I'm going to stick with my original prediction.
I can't remember your original prediction. Was it Arsenal? Okay, yeah, love that.
Sure, why not?
Don't forget, we had a bad start last year.
You did have a bad start last year. I mean, you're currently languishing in 10th in the table.
Oh, okay, yep, looking good.
So still looking like they're going to go through to the next round. So
we'll take that as a win.
Take it as a win.
Only 4 teams can be in the top 4. So
exactly. We couldn't possibly dream of being top 4 given that we're going to win the Champions League.
So the top 4 currently automatically qualifying is Barcelona 10 points, Lyon 10 points, Wolfsburg 9 points, and Manchester United 9 points. So still an English holdout in the top 4.
Wow.
And then currently in the playoff spots is Bayern Munich, Chelsea, Real Madrid, Juventus, Atletico Madrid, Arsenal, Leuven, and Paris. So it's still looking good for all English teams making it through.
I have to say I love PSG sat at the bottom of the table, the only team on 0 points. What the hell, guys?
Do better.
The other games that are happening this week, while there's no WSL action, there's a lot of League Cup fixtures. Unfortunately, a lot of them are taking place after we record today on Sunday, but there's been a couple of tasty fixtures already. The most exciting of them all might be the Midlands Derby, Aston Villa versus Birmingham. What a chaotic second half.
Wow.
So Birmingham went into the lead 2-0, took the 2 great goals from Beatrice Sarri.
I haven't watched loads of Birmingham apart from their game against Forest a couple of weeks ago, in which she also scored a brace and rocked my world, but not in a good way.
It's like the pendulum swinging of rocking my world positive and rocking my world negative.
Aston Villa went down to 10 players after 10 minutes.
Stupid
stupid.
You can see it from that. If I can see from that far camera angle up on the stadium that Lynn Wilms, you have gone to headbutt a player, you can't be surprised when the referee gives you a red card.
And why are you going to headbutt a player?
Yeah, it was like, I mean, that silly thing of like they don't headbutt, they put their heads together and then shove with the neck like a pigeon. But it was just so obvious. The fact that, like, Rachel Daly, honestly, I've never seen a player look more like a disappointed teacher than Rachel Daly did
She
in that
was
moment.
so frustrated,
She was so pissed off with them. But a great recovery from Aston Villa. And it looked like they were going to close the game out because, coming back to 3-2, I thought Anna Patten was fantastic. And despite Adriana Franch pulling out some incredible saves and double saves, took the game back to 3-2. And then in the dying moments, Ellie Roebuck just kind of lost her players and poked it in. And it was the hopeful, like, was it offside? Maybe. Was it offside? No, it wasn't offside.
And then Birmingham ended up winning the penalty shootout, so they got that extra point. It's quite interesting seeing games like Aston Villa and Birmingham now that WSL 1 is expanding, seeing kind of like mid-level table team play kind of top table team WSL 2. They looked actually, I mean, it was a really exciting game. They looked actually pretty evenly matched, and Birmingham won the penalty shootout, so got that point. But it's kind of, it's fun watching those types of games because I think Birmingham are one of the very strong candidates to be coming up next season.
Yeah,
definitely. They have a lot of experience and quality in their squad, which I think over the course of the season is probably going to hold them in pretty good stead compared to some of the other contenders.
I would like to shout out the magnificence that is Beata Olsen, continuing on her fine form with a hat-trick in Liverpool's League Cup game against Sheffield. 4-1 we ended up winning. I said it at the start of the season. It was going to be a good cup run for Liverpool. Fuck the league.
It is time for everybody's favourite segment, previously my favourite segment when I used to win, but it is no longer because Maya is steaming away again off the back of a second consecutive win.
LFG!
It's really not going well for me.
No, Jessie, maybe it's just not in your destiny. But maybe this means that rather than winning meaningless things like Screamers of the Week, you will win a cup with Liverpool.
Yeah.
I
you
object.
Personally.
I personally, they'll thank me when they win the trophy, and I object to the description of Screamers of the Week as meaningless because we know it's the most prestigious trophy in the game.
We do. I'm just hurting right now.
Go on then, Maya. What are you picking this week?
I actually am really, really split between two goals. So my two picks, and I'm going to decide when I'm talking about them because then I'll know. The first one is Berenstein's first goal against Man U, which was fucking stunning. Picked up from a loose pass from Ziggiotti, top corner, absolute rocket, just before the break. Oh, it was so good. I'm getting the feeling Jessie wants that goal.
That was on my shortlist.
Okay, I was on the shortlist. Okay, the other one is, of course, Ellie Carpenter's absolute screamer at Stamford Bridge. As the commentator said, it's the goal of her career. Which, you know what? Why not?
Yeah.
She tried to replicate it. Yeah, it is. I think it is. Like, it was such a good goal, and it's Ellie Carpenter.
And she's never scored a Champions League goal before, which I couldn't believe for Lyon. No.
Wow.
It's the first time and I think she could have scored 2 more that night, but
she tried to replicate almost the exact goal like later in the game and missed, and then she had that other chance as well.
If it's not broke, don't fix it. Just like, I'll do it again.
It was a great goal. Oh, God. Guys, I'm stressed. Actually, no. I'll go for Ellie Carpenter. Why not?
I think that's a great choice.
Yeah.
That was the first one I saw this week and thought, yeah, that is a screamer.
If you'd gone for Berenstein and none of us had gone for Ellie Carpenter, it would have been a disservice to...
The Chelsea fans would have come for us.
But it was a great goal. I loved it. And she took the ball all the way up the pitch and then just fucking belted it. And I just think, go for it, girl.
I think it was not just the goal, it was the run as well.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
It was the whole thing. Who are you going for, Honor?
There were a lot of magnificent goals, but I think the one that first caught my eye this week was the Casway weak-footed volley. You just gotta, you guys know I have a soft spot for a volley, also Casway. So she's getting my vote this week.
Sits in the centre of your personal Venn diagram, Honor.
A Scottish volley.
Yeah.
Jessie, what are you going for?
Oh, so yeah, that first Berenstein goal is also. I love Lynette Berenstein. I will love watching her play. I mean, it's terrifying when she's playing for the Netherlands against England, but apart from that, love watching her play. I think the Pedamores goal, the first one, not the second one, which kind of just like
The second one was
slowly dribbled.
everyone's mistake.
Everybody should maybe consider retiring from football because of that one.
Honestly.
But the first Pedamores goal was fantastic, even if it came from like it was the ball was gifted to her by it was a bad back pass from Maya Letitia to Saf Middleton Patel, who then basically passed it straight to Pedamores, but still had to like lift it up over all of those players into the top corner. Also, shout out to Mia Enderby's goal in our 4-1 win against Sheffield United, because it's the kind of goal that I want to see her scoring more of, and just having that confidence to pick the ball up and like drive it low, beat the keeper. Oh, but I think I've got to go for that Berenstein goal. It was just so wonderful. Maya's already done the descriptions. You know what it was like, but
it's a great goal.
What a goal. So we'll put the clips up on Instagram for those of you who haven't seen, and then you can vote on Spotify and Instagram stories for this week's Screamer of the Week. Please don't vote for Maya.
So the latest international break is upon us. The England squad was announced, as we said last week, on the day we released our episode. So maybe we're a bit late to this party, but we're coming anyway. There are some new additions to the squad this time. Serena has been listening to Screamers and has decided to mix it up. I'm happy to see Freya Godfrey, winner of Screamer of the Week TM. No, but seriously, what are we thinking?
I think, there's some cool new call-ups. Freya Godfrey, first time call-up, that's exciting. And Nuke Denton, obviously, people like Grace Fisk in there, who's still new to the squad and uncapped.
Missy Bo-Kearns is back.
I love that for her.
Got Kendall again.
It feels like a good squad for looking to the future and games that are a good chance to try out some people alongside all of the the sort of the names we know and recognise.
So the fixtures this time are China and Ghana.
Yeah.
So you'd hope that some of these youngsters are going to get some game time.
Yeah, it will be really frustrating if we see like Lucy Bronze, Alessia Russo, Ella Toon. Like, we know what they play like. And obviously you want to see how these new players play alongside them. But also I want to see Missy Bo-Kearns get more time. I want to see I want to see Grace Fisk on the pitch. Because, like Taylor Hines, like give our
show me
Laura
Hines and Denton.
Brown.
Yeah. I want to see our fullback options. Like what we got. I think we're looking a little bit lighter in the centre back department in this squad, which I don't think is necessarily a bad thing, because we might get to see different faces.
Yeah, who was it? Who were the pairings in the last? Was it Esme Morgan and Maya Letitia pairings in the last games?
Yeah,
feels like that's maybe becoming the standard currently, while Leah Williamson is out.
I wonder if Lotta's going to get some game time, or do you think she really is just there for like camp morale?
Maybe this break, out of all of them, with that kind of, it is a little bit lighter in that area. I could see her maybe getting some minutes. And obviously she has been playing a little bit more for club as well, for Arsenal.
Yeah.
And she's been decent.
Was there anybody you wanted to see in the squad that isn't? Because I was kind of hoping Maisie Simmonds would get another call up again.
I'm so obsessed with Maisie Simmonds. I firstly think she's such a cool girl. She's like, she's so arty and like beachy and cool. And I think she's been incredibly solid in that midfield role for Brighton. Like, she's such a leader as well. She's so young. It's kind of a similar vibe to Maya Letitia, where it's like a young captain of a club who's just like doing their job, being a great leader, playing really well, keeping things together on the pitch, and then not really being noticed or used loads for England. Especially, I know she got that one call up for England, but I think that's a good point, Jessie. I'd really like to see her in again, but it's tricky with the midfield options that we have. And I think as well, Kendall and Kearns and Blinky at all absolutely
Blinky.
deserve
I
their call-ups.
Yeah.
I think that's it. There's like that we've got already in the squad lots of fit midfielders who are very experienced, and then we do have these 3 younger ones, and so I guess it's like there's only so many slots. But I agree, it would have been nice for Maisie Simons to be able to just kind of consolidate her last England camp.
I hope we get to see Jess Park as well. Obviously, she missed the last camp due to injury.
I don't know. I can't say I know much currently about how China and Ghana are faring. So I don't know like the relative strengths of their teams.
I know Ghana have just qualified for WAFCON.
Nice. Yeah, I guess for China it's helpful prep for them with with one eye on the Asian Cup next year, March time. Sort of using the friendlies as prep for an international tournament. So it'd be exciting to see. Maybe some of us will be down at Wembley, maybe not. TBC, but if not, we'll still be watching it somewhere. Elsewhere in the international window, obviously there's been lots of squad announcements and looking ahead to some big games. But the other big news is Spurs shocking everybody by dropping a signing just randomly in the middle of November. Gaupset, I think, was one of our darlings of the Euros. We were all kind of obsessed with her. Popped up, signed for Spurs.
Yeah, in that stinky Norway team, she was a shining light.
She really was. I think this is such a good signing. I just feel really excited for Spurs. Like, they're going in such an exciting direction. Like, Martin Ho obviously has such big ideas for this team, such a statement. It's a club record, her signing fee. And I just think it is such a good signing.
That is such intent, isn't it? That is
it really
intent
is,
from Spurs.
Yeah. But you can see that in the way that they've been playing, the way that he's been talking about the team, the signings they've already made. I think it's really exciting. I'm really jealous. I wish she was coming to Arsenal.
It's not just a club, like obviously it's a club record for Spurs, but also it's like a hefty chunk of money, like full stop. It's like 380,000.
Yeah.
But you think about
we love to see it.
Kira Walsh was 450. Like that is a significant transfer fee.
It's funny to think that Kira Walsh was 450, given that like at the time it was the biggest one, and then it was actually quite recent, and then now we're at 1 million. Like, things have just gone so crazy, haven't they, in transfer fees in the past sort of 12 months, or 2 years. But yeah, like I'm excited to watch Spurs. I can honestly say I haven't said that for about 6 years.
You've now said it twice. You've now said it twice in the last 5 minutes. You are a Sparsenal? Is that what we Sparsenal?
You're a pink.
Yeah. You're just North London is. Doesn't matter what colour.
I'm just North London forever.
Just
wherever, whenever, North London forever.
I'm going to get that on a t-shirt for you. But in honor of the Spurs signing, Martin Ho delving into his own personal archives and bringing a player he managed at Brann over to Spurs. That'd be funny. Which of your respective managers, former players, would you like to see signed for your clubs? As you know, start putting together our transfer wish lists already, shall we?
This made me really laugh, guys. In case you were wondering, Jessie came up with this idea, and when I was thinking, I was like, "God, this is so hard." Yeah. And then I thought, who am I and Jessie going to pick? Oh wait, Jessie has the whole of fucking Man City for the past however many years to choose from.
Don't hate the player, hate the game. Name a player Jessie can't choose apart from Brighton, Erin Cuthbert.
Anyway, I have to say I struggled a bit, but I was trying to get creative, and I've delved into my 2 teams, West Ham and looking down to WSL2, Carly Davis's Nottingham Forest. So Rhiannon Skinner. I would say
you've got some of that Spurs squad you can pick from now.
Yeah, that really exciting Spurs squad from a few years ago. She hasn't really managed particularly moving players, and I also don't have faith in her relationships. with previous players. Unlike Martin Ho, who obviously has that managerial pull, I don't think Skinner quite has the same effect on players. Who knows?
No.
The only ones I kind of think of for Skinner was maybe, I think, Sumanen from Spurs. Possibly Rachel Williams could do a job at West Ham. Really, really struggling. And then Carly Davies, obviously, like, as a newer manager on the block, that was tricky for Forest. But I was then thinking back to her time at Aston Villa and thought we could bring in Hannah Hampton, if that counts.
Oh,
Can I
is
just say?
clever.
I just want to say you have got a bit of a leg up here because you support so many different teams.
It was still bleak, Maya.
I kept to the brief, which was people that they've managed.
I'm sorry that the brief was impossible for me.
Even with your double teams, I'm getting all this for picking a format that benefits Liverpool, and Honna's here like, I'm just going to have a team in every single league.
Yeah, and then I went to my Spanish team.
Typical women's football fan.
All right, then. Sticking to the brief, Maya? Who are you picking?
So yeah, sticking to the brief, I also had quite a small pool to pull from. So for the listeners, Renee was head coach at Rosengard for a short while. Would you like to hear some unexpected Rosengard alumni?
Sure.
Go on then. I feel like before you say it, I feel like Marta probably has been there at some point.
Marta. And I got so excited, but obviously they didn't align.
I thought, wasn't Marta there in like, when was Marta there?
I think she left in like 2017.
Yeah.
And because I'm such a good student, I also only allowed myself to pick from when Renee was officially head coach. Not Rosengard B coach, not assistant coach. Jessie's impressed with my rule abiding, I can see.
I'm very impressed.
Thank you. So.
Okay, I'm just going to say, I'll give up then. I'm having no signings. I don't care. I don't need anyone. Okay. My teams are fine as they are. No rules broken.
Musovic and Ritten Canner had also left 1 year before, which is annoying. But I did find the one and only Natalie Bjorn crossed over with her for 1 month.
Wow. Oh my God.
Love that so
Obviously,
much.
they crossed over for a lot longer, but as head coach, yes, 1 month before Nat Bjorn went to Everton. So I would definitely take her because she's an amazing centre-back and she can play as full-back. So obviously we're in need. So I'm having Nat Bjorn.
Wow. A 1 month crossover. That is absolutely fantastic.
The stars have aligned for me on this one.
Shit.
That Renee pull is so strong. 1 month. 1 month working together and she is Nat Bjorn is ditching her whole life.
What's yours, Jessie? I'm sure you had a hard time deciding this one.
Oh, yeah, I was somewhat spoilt for choice, I thought, considering, obviously, Gareth Taylor was there for 5 years, that anyone who came in his last season when he sort of left halfway through, I'll discount, not very to, like, give myself own...
adding extra rules for yourself, because it's so easy for you.
I mean, obviously, the gut instinct's like, wow, Bunny Shaw, bring in Bunny Shaw. I'll bring in... Mary Fowler, bringing Yui Hasegawa. But then I was looking back through like Gareth's first season at Man City. So he was there from 2020 to 2025. And his first squad also had Chloe Kelly, Georgia Stanway, Esme Morgan Still, obviously, Jess Park, Ellen White, Kaz Weir, Rose Lavelle, Sam Lewis.
Hell. Oh, Sam Lewis, if she didn't have long-term injury, that'd be a good one.
That would have been a good one. But I think Rose Lavelle, you think Rose Lavelle's still sort of performing at that level. Lucy Bronze is obviously still performing. Like, I made it actually very hard for myself because there's almost too many players that I want to pick. I mean, I'm looking at the players. I'm like, I would love Yui Hasegawa because I think Yui Hasegawa is just one of the best players in the world.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I think we're slowly but surely shoring up like the spine of the team, and I do think it's that kind of creative wing player that we're missing still. I mean, it's hard to look at how Jess Park's playing this season for Man United and not pick her. But I am drawn to Mary Fowler because I think that
Ooh.
that creativity off the wings. I think now we've got like Beata Olsen, who's like such a danger up top, but we've lost Livy Smith. We don't really have the same stretch, like the ability to stretch a pitch wide and like create those threats on the wings. So I think that is what's pulling me, amongst the embarrassment of riches that I have to pick from, is pulling me in Mary Fowler's direction. But I'm sure there's someone I've overlooked.
That's really interesting because when you said that you wanted like a creative wide player,
Mm,
my mind immediately went to Lauren Hemp, and then you say Mary Fowler, and it's like, wow, the options,
the
the
options.
options, the
I think
options are
like
optioning.
that, like Lauren Hemp is obviously so. I think it's just the fluidity that Mary Fowler has. It's a slightly different kind of like
Mm.
creative attacking that I
And she
think
can
is
play
what
wherever you need when you eventually have an injury crisis.
eventually, it's just
Sorry,
forever.
inevitably.
Yeah, perennial injury crisis. But I think yes, that kind of ability to play across the front line, to stretch the pitch on either side, would be a real asset for Liverpool. So that's who I'm picking.
Love that. Shall we check in with the Woso Community Noticeboard, where we bring you and each other news from all around the women's football world?
I've got something, but it is a few weeks old.
Yeah.
But I read it a few weeks ago and then I just kept forgetting to bring it to the notice board, which is that did you see that the North Korea under-17s women's team won the Youth World Cup for the
Yeah.
second time?
Yeah.
Madness.
It is crazy, but I was reading about it when I saw that it had happened a couple of weeks ago. I did a bit of a deep dive on it because I was very interested by it. And basically, it's the sort of powers that be in North Korea have identified youth sport as a way in which they can kind of demonstrate like sovereignty and domination to the rest of the world and to their population. And they have basically they've basically realized that it's too difficult to do that in senior sports because around the world those sports are so well established and such a high level, whereas they can pour enough resource into the youth levels to really make a massive impact on a world stage. And it's interesting because that doesn't translate then into senior level sport because they're not doing it to be part of like a football system to build up to senior sport. They're literally just doing it to win the under-17s World Cup. So it kind of just all the programs sort of fall off after that. But they have like identified it as a way in which they can basically win a global competition. All of their resources are going into like, whereas we have like the different age groups and like that's all part of a bigger, wider ecosystem. They're just like, we can just win this one thing and that's worth it to us. And so that's why they're so successful, because they're just trying to win this one thing.
I think that's so interesting that not only like we think about sports washing and like the use of football by political like establishments and states and governments all around the world, but we think about it more, I think, in that kind of ownership of clubs. I think that's such a conversation in men's football of like how various geopolitical powers use football in that way, but to think of like that specifically targeting youth tournaments. And also it's quite interesting that it's just the under 17s. Like we think about there's probably 4 or 5 different youth under 15s, under 17s. Does it go up to under 23s World Cup for women? I don't know, but interesting that it's just like that kind of.
I guess they've identified it as the sweet spot where they can start developing them as kids, but then they're not going to become adults where all the rules might change, and then they could like be working in a much more useful position for them, like making money for the state or something. So it probably is like a very sweet point.
Yeah. Also, I think specifically, I read in the Observer that specifically in like that maybe the late 90s or early 2000s, they identified women's football as a sport that was not being taken seriously by other countries across the world, and a kind of growing one that they could have success in, like where it's not being taken seriously elsewhere. So I think that's quite interesting as well.
God, that's so
Anyway, I thought that was kind of crazy when I read that.
Yeah, that's so interesting. Anna, did you have something to add to the notice board?
I was considering bringing Mary Fowler's quotes from her new book to the notice board today, where she talks quite a lot about the racism that she experienced in Montpellier, which sounds really insanely horrific. But I think that's probably something we want to spend a bit more time talking about and discussing. So maybe we should revisit that next week.
Yeah, definitely.
Did you have anything, Jessie?
I saw a clip. It's a bit old. It's a few weeks old, but from Brentford Penguins FC, who are just like a community grassroots club, where they were honouring one of their team members, Patty, who's 82 and had basically wanted to play football all of her life. She used to watch like people play it in the park, but it wasn't for girls. She didn't play football. And then so in her 80s played her first ever football game after joining Brentford Penguins, and they did like a little team like she got like a golden penguin to sort of celebrate that, and it was just the most sweet.
So nice.
And she joined the team, and she was walking past and she saw them and she stopped to watch the team, and then I think somebody in the coaching staff would have like seen her watching and came to talk to her. And it's like, yeah, you really just like football, it just really drives home that like football is there for everybody, but so many people still find it so difficult to access the sport. And but people finding their way into the game at any point in their life is really, really lovely to see.
So wholesome.
That's all we've got time for on Screamers this week, but join us next week where we will be digging into England's fixture against China, amongst, I'm sure, lots of other juicy tidbits. But until then,
follow us on Instagram and TikTok at screamers_pod, or you can email us at screamerspod@gmail.com.
And please follow, rate and review us wherever you're listening so we can reach more women's football fans.
Bye.
bye.
Bye.